Okay, hi guys. So let's talk about the rise of atheism in Nigeria and how it has contributed to creating the hush puppies of our time. So it's totally understandable that we are in an era of human worship. I mean, with a consistent decline in the worship of deities, God, and whatever name they go by, it was only natural that another form of worship will take hold. I mean, nature abhors vacuum, right? So, we humans, we are people who would naturally want to look up to something, want to believe in something. So, with the decline in the people believing in God, comes a rise in the people believing in other humans. And that's why there's a lot of celebrity worship today. Literally, celebrities are more or less like the gods of our time. But now, if you look at societies, you would find that their values are reflected in the kind of people that they believe in, that they worship, that they look up to. So let me give you an example using the United States. You would find that the people that they hold dear are like the military, the musicians who are doing well, the actors and actresses, comedians, just people who are doing well in their chosen field of endeavor. Like they more or less worship talent. Do you get? And then if you look at Nigeria, you would find that we worship money. That's the God that we've chosen. So it's not like we dump lots of cash somewhere and we begin to go and bow and say, hello, you're the God. No. How this manifests is that we worship the people that hold the money, people that we perceive to have the money. So this our worship of money is blind to how the money was obtained. We simply don't care. All you have to do is just show us money and you're our God. Like show us money and we'll give you chieftaincy titles, we'll make you a deacon in the church. You can literally be our president. Just show us money and we're going to admire you so much. We'll cower in front of you. When you talk, you will listen. If you make sense or not, we're going to clap and say, there, guy, that is the guy we've been looking for. So that is how it is. We do not question the source of this money. And that is why it does not matter that we all know that our politicians are thieving devils, like they steal in such a way that it becomes very glaring that they don't really care about us, the people from which they're stealing. They don't care. They steal more than they could ever have need of in their lifetime. But we're not outraged, we're not angry because we see money without the source. We just see money. So the people that steal from us, we worship them because of the wealth they have stolen from us. It's sort of like a disease. Do you get? You steal my money. I know you're using my money because you've stolen it. I can't do much for myself. I cannot go to good schools. If my relatives are sick, I'm worried they may not make it because the hospitals are crazy. I cannot literally not do anything for myself because you're stealing my money. But if I see you because of that money, I'm gonna bow. If you shake me, I'm gonna hold my palms dear. I will go oh God, anything for the boys. I mean, it's so bad that even those Nigerians, some Nigerians who actually criticize the government on social media, if they were to see a member of that cabinet, believe me, it would be a case of oh God, anything for your boy. It's so crazy. And that is why we have so many fraudsters around us. Because once these criminals hit it, you can see the pace at which they rise to stardom. It is so quick. It's like 1 minute I have hit someone on the internet, the next minute I'm rolling with celebrities. That's how bad it is. You literally do not have to climb any ladder of success to belong in that exclusive club of the celebrated in our society. Nah, nah, nah. All you have to do is just show money. Whatever kind of money, just money. I mean, just look at Hush Puppy, for instance. In some way, we all knew that the guy had no legit source of income. Because if you have a business that rakes in that amount of money, I mean the kind of funds that can fund the level of splendor that Hush Puppy was displaying on the internet. If you have that kind of money, the source cannot hide. Do you understand? You cannot be doing some sort of secret business and you're living that life. No, not in this world, not yet. So yeah, true, some of us questioned the legibility of his source of income, but there were also a good number of us who simply did not care, who were simply awestruck by this man's success. Do you get? So those of us who ask questions, we got the same rhetoric that we keep getting all the time. How can you be asking where he got his money when he was broke? Did you ask the source of his poverty? Seriously? Why do we keep saying that crap anyway? I mean, some comedian drops that bullshit and we just picked it up and ran with it. Because why would anybody question the source of your poverty? When we all know the source of your poverty. Hi, we know where your poverty came from. You were born poor. Literally, we all were born with nothing. Nobody came into this world having anything at all. We came into this world not even wearing a pair of panties. We came in like this, and the folded palms held nothing. So, as a baby, when you are born, up until your toddler age, preteen, teenage, the expectation is that your guardian, your family, will cater to you. So, if as a 1 year old you're wearing Gucci onesies, assuming they are Gucci onesies, that is, nobody's going to ask you where you got your money. Let's say your name is Emeka. Nobody's going to be saying, where did Emeka get the money to buy Gucci onesies? No. The question would be, where did Emeka's parents or guardians get the money to buy these for Emeka? But let's assume that Emeka grows. We know he's broke, by the way. His parents are not rich, they're just normal Nigerians. Then Emeka grows, Emeka hits 20, 21. Next thing he buys a Bugatti and then a Rolls Royce. Should we not ask where Emeka got his money? Wouldn't that be the sensible thing to do? Because the truth is that Emeka, Emeka, the truth is that if Emeka has that level of wealth, there is a 90% chance that, sorry, did I say 90? 99.9% chance that the source is not legit. So it is a sensible question to ask Emeka where he got his money from. And this kind of response of, did you ask where his poverty came from, it sort of reflects in the kind of society that we're building. Because we cannot have a society of upright people if we're not accountable to each other. The thing about accountability is that we sort of think that it's between government and citizens, citizens and government, and that's just like where it starts and ends. No, it's not. As citizens, as a society, we owe each other accountability to a large extent. I mean, society is like a social contract of people who live together, who were put together by circumstances, who chose to be together in some way, but they live together and they have decided to make it work. And oftentimes, making it work requires having some set of rules that guide the conduct of the people in that society. So, some of these rules could be explicit, some not so explicit. But for instance, the rule that would normally say that we're going to respect each other's spaces and we're not going to cross our spaces to go pick things that do not belong to us, I think that's a very explicit rule. So if I am accountable to myself, to my children, to my neighbors, and they are accountable to me, we would ask these questions. We cannot keep minding our business. I mean, it's good to mind your business, but you only have to mind your business to a certain extent. Beyond that extent, please, Biko, poke your nose. Because the idea that we're not going to question someone's source of income because our own money is not missing is not going to help us. We're not holding Hush Puppy accountable because we looked at our bank accounts and the monies we kept there were complete. So, hell, it's not our business. Let him just do giveaways and we're fine. Whether we like it or not, we need to become a society who is intolerant of theft. Wanton theft. We have to grow to be that society. We need to create a society where if my neighbor were to display ostentatious wealth, I should be able to pick up the phone and call law enforcement to say, oh God, people should come, oh, this is my neighbor here. I don't understand. I don't know what he's doing, oh, but look, he has bought a Rolls Royce. Can you check? That's not to say, can you come and harass him? So you should just call him for questioning. Do a bit of investigation, get to know where the money came from. And if it's legit, let him go his way. Because if my neighbor is breaking the social contract that we have, and I ignore it, and then the next person's neighbor is doing the same and they ignore, and we just keep ignoring each other, even though we can see glaringly well that they are not keeping to these rules that are supposed to help us build a functional society, we're going to have a very chaotic space. Can't you hear the noise in Nigeria? Can you see how chaotic Nigeria is? It's even as though we have no direction because we ignore that social contract. We don't take it seriously. And that is why Hush Puppy was flaunting so much wealth and nobody was asking him shit. Come to think of it, those of you who worshipped Hush Puppy, when you looked at him, I mean, beyond the wealth that he was displaying, when you looked at Hush Puppy, what did you see? What was it that struck you? What was it that made you so awestruck by him? What was it? Nothing. Because if you were to look beyond that wealth, you would likely have found a pathetic young man who thought that he would not be human, he would not be seen as a person if he did not show wealth. And that was why he kept stealing and stealing insane amounts of wealth and showing it off and talking down on those who did not have as much. I mean, I don't know how sad his life had to have been for him to have that kind of mindset, because that's some deep psychological shit going on there. But no, we didn't see that. Our love for money had blinded us to all of that. All we saw were the things he was displaying. And it even gets worse, Our law enforcement officers who were supposed to enforce the social contract, who were supposed to look out and say, hey guy, what's up? How are you getting this? What are you doing? Are you sure you're not robbing the other person because you look like this? Let's find out what you do. I mean, societies do this in a really civil manner, by the way. A lot of societies that have high trust and low crime, they do this. And they do it in a way that's civil enough that the citizens are not paying, they're happy to comply with. So what I'm saying is not a novel idea. It happens, it works. But our law enforcement, if they see that money, I promise you they're not asking where it came from, they're asking for their share. So that, and this was why hush puppy could come into Nigeria in glaring sight, hang with our politicians, hang with our celebrities, and get up and leave, and nobody coughed. The EFCC did not say, hey, look, that guy is a criminal, is the most wanted criminal, and we need to catch him now. And no, they didn't. They waited for FBI to nab him first, and then they came to present a lame statement that Hush Puppy is one of our most wanted criminals. Seriously. Most wanted. Oh, how? And the fact that we could even do that, our EFCC could even do that, shows how shameless we are, how low we're willing to go. I mean, the what's the word? The honorable thing would have been to accept that you goofed this time around, chicken. But no, we had to make a statement. Chicken. Now, beyond the EFCC, with the level of allegations that Hush Puppy has been accused of, you would expect that people, even those who previously were standing him, would like step back first and see how this whole thing plays out before they continue to stand him. Because in some societies, nobody openly declares alliance to a criminal. No one. But look at Nigeria, look at our social media space. You see a lot of young men still standing Hush Puppy till today. They're still standing the guy. They're still saying he's my mentor, he's the real deal. And then there's the EFCC. I mean, these guys are not afraid of the EFCC. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that EFCC should swap in and have these guys arrested. No. No such thing is required of EFCC. But at the very least, EFCC can take note of these people. Create a database of people who are persons of interest, or I don't know if that's the word they use in criminology. But you know that these are people that could potentially commit yahoo. And so you have them on the database such that if there were to be another case of fraud, you would have where to start looking. You would have where to start looking from. But because we really don't consider theft to be a serious crime here, so we really don't feel like we need to do anything about it. That's just our truth if we want to own up to it. Because oftentimes, if a Nigerian hears his neighbor's wife yelling, and maybe he hears punches landing on the woman, he would likely just knock the door and want to find out what's up. Maybe even call the police or something. But it's not the same thing with a man who has obviously stolen. So it's like Nasati was saying, we do not tolerate domestic violence, but we tolerate theft. That's what we are really saying. So what I'm really saying is that we have a collective responsibility as Nigerians to be accountable to each other and to question each other when it appears like things are amiss. And if we do not live that life, we cannot have a society that is clear or that is remotely cleared of financial crimes. Because we have to own up to it that this is us, we're Nigerians, and money is our God.